How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. We are finally doing the first cosmetic mod on the Mustang, other than the wheels. If you guys haven't followed my channel, I've done a couple modifications on this Mustang. I've owned it for quite some time now. If you want to check some other videos out, I'll leave a little playlist up on top. But today we're finally going to be replacing this baby spoiler, something I've always wanted to do since I bought the car. So here's the wing. Got a little excited and opened it up, but it's the Gt500 wing, essentially, not the carbon pack but the normal one, and this is gonna look awesome on the car. I didn't want to go with like an actual wing. I guess this would be a spoiler. I feel like these spoilers look a lot better than the big wings on the Mustangs, especially the S550s. This one also does come with all the hardware you need, so let's get to installation. First things first, we need to get rid of this old one, and in order to do that, we need to come over to the trunk and undo all of this. So first things first, we need to take all of these tabs out. Basically what you have to do is get under them and just pop them out using a trim removal tool or something like that. So there's all of these. There's 9 that I can count out, plus we gotta take these off, and we gotta figure that out, as well as take this off to get this entire piece out. And then also, if we come right here, we grab this rubber, pull this rubber out. There are 2 screws on each side, so these simply just pull off like so. But let me take all of these out with a trim removal tool, and I'll get back to you taking these 3 things out. So you kind of just grab something like this. I have a metal one in most cases. A lot of them are plastic, but I couldn't find a plastic one, so you kind of just pry this in between and then just pop it out. Just work on it a little bit, and they should just come out like so. Just like that, they come out. Just take all of them out and get to the next step. Turn it and it comes out. Alright, so another thing, you kind of just pull the carpet off. You just go around this and just maneuver it, and then it should just come off. So now we've got the insulation out. So now what I'm going to do is take both of these bolts out. I've seen other people do this. I watched a couple other videos on how to take this down. What you want to do is lower this so your bolt doesn't fall into your trunk, and then it'll be impossible to get out, so you can just have it fall here. Let's do that, and then we should be almost there. So I'm quickly going to remove all 4 of the bolts. There's one here, there's one here, one here, one here. All of them are 10 millimeters. So take all of those off, then we're gonna get into the next step. All right, so we've got all the bolts out. In the process, I ended up losing this one in here. So if I hear that rattling around, I'm pretty much gonna go insane and have to take this entire thing off and then find a way to get it off. But that's for the future. I also broke this strut, so it no longer clips in. I think I can put it back. I think I just took the lock off of it, and I can't get it back in, but I think I just took the lock off, so I think this should be able to go back on, hopefully. If not, then I guess we're buying the pop-up kit, but oh well. Now let's heat and take the actual wing off. So now this is being held on by nothing but glue, basically. So we're gonna take a hair dryer and just heat all of it up, and then we're gonna use a fishing line and then take it all off. So if you have a heat gun, I'd suggest you use the heat gun, but hopefully the hairdryer should be enough heat. Just gonna heat it up to the point where I see it's coming off, so we're gonna do that and get right back. Alright, so we've got the wing all heated up. It's starting to lift a little bit on the corners. So what we're going to do is take some fishing line right here. One person is going to lift the wing and heat, and the other person is going to use the fishing line and remove the old spoiler from the trunk. So basically, we're gonna heat it up a little bit more, get a little bit more of a gap in between these, and then once we do that, stick the fishing line in between the 2 things, because there's gonna be a bunch of glue. The fishing line, work our way all the way down, if that makes sense. We're gonna do that, and hopefully by then, this rear wing should be out. Okay, now that the wing is off, what we're going to do is put 3M tape on the back of the other one, and then just reverse the process, basically, so I'll get back once the wing's on. One more thing I forgot to mention, make sure you clean everything underneath, so that way the new 3M tip can stick. Also, if we look here, the old wing will leave some marks. That's just tape marks, but for the most part it's pretty clean, but it will leave a couple places where your paint is going to be damaged. So if you're planning to just leave it blank, I recommend you get some touch up, but you're also going to have to plug the holes as well. But I think it looks pretty good without the wing, not gonna lie. Like, it doesn't look half bad. I guess because my wing was so small that it's a very small difference, but it doesn't look terrible. But let's install the new one. Alright, now I have all the 3M tape laid out. I might have too much, but hey, I don't want it to fall off. There are going to be bolts, so I think I'm going to take one of these strips off and kind of just rearrange this, because I think this is too much. But you do want some tape, maybe not this much though. It's been a while since I've started the video because car went to go get wrapped, but this is how the wing turned out. I think it looks really good in my opinion. It just gives the car a completely different look, especially with the stripes now. It doesn't look as odd as it did before, but the wing is fully secured. It's been like this for a couple weeks now. It hasn't flown off. It haven't had any issues with it. The wing fits very nicely. All the fitment is very nice on it. For someone who is going to be installing it, here's some tips I have before you do it as someone who's done it. My first tip would be to definitely either try buffing out or like compounding or something, because there's going to be a line here no matter what. You guys can see it on camera, and it's not terrible in person unless you're really inspecting the car, but there's like a couple cuts here, and that's just from the wing. That's just from the factory wing. Most of this is just adhesive, but this is like a scratch in the paint. You're gonna have some of those. I got a little bit of stripes, so it kind of covers it up like here, but you can still kind of see it. It is what it is. That's just something you're gonna have to clean up and then eventually accept that it's going to be there. Another thing, I would recommend you put the screws in the wing before and dry fit them, because I didn't do that, and then it was a little harder getting the screws into the wing itself. So I recommend you dry fit them before you put it in. I should have done that, and I thought of it afterwards. It'll just make the whole install process go a lot smoother. Also, if you do end up getting a screw stuck in here, like I still have a screw stuck very much in the trunk of the car here, what you have to do is unscrew it, leave this panel off, having all the holes exposed. I'll show you, just like before, just take it all off, and then eventually just driving around, the screw will fall out. Just like that, I took a couple of the pieces off, and the bolt actually came out itself, because it had already been shaken out of the trunk itself, and it was just sitting on this carpet here. But if you do end up accidentally getting a bolt in the car because it falls through this hole or falls through those holes, it's not the end of the world. It will come out if you just drive the car around, do with the carpet off, and it'll fall into the trunk. Most of the times they will creep up under here and then end up falling through it completely. The reason that bolt was still in there is because they had to reinstall the wing, uninstall and reinstall the wing when they did the stripes, I believe, and I'm like 75% sure they took the wing off, and hearing that bolt for the first time opening my trunk pretty much confirmed that they did take the wing off. So that's the reason why that bolt was still there. Another pro tip, if you do ride with the car with the carpet off, be careful of this, because there's nothing holding this from getting caught on the trunk. As you can see, I broke mine, so you don't want to do that. I'm sure this part's easily replaceable, but if I just keep it tucked in here, no one's really gonna notice. Not the end of the world, not the biggest deal, but you don't really want to break it if you don't have to, so just tape it up to the mechanism here so you won't have that issue if you are riding with the carpet off. But yeah, that's pretty much all of the tips I have. I think this looks really good. Let me know what you guys think about the new wing, the GT500 style wing. I think it works very well with this car. The other lower lip would be maybe a little bit too small, and I eventually want to upgrade. I think I'm going to keep this for a pretty long time, and hopefully we can clean up those little spots where the car does have the scrapes under the wing where the old wing was. We'll get everything resolved for the most part. I hope you guys did enjoy this install process. I think it looks killer for the price. You can't really beat it, honestly. I had another eBay part that I bought, my splitter, because I had a good experience with this, but the splitter turned out to be horrible. You guys will see that in the video, probably going up after this. The splitter was not worth buying, but this wing is 100% worth buying. Fitment is great. It comes with the screws. All you need to buy is the tape, and for the most part, it's a very easy install. And I always say this, if I wasn't recording, your normal install time would probably be an hour and a half, so not too bad at all. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, share this with your friends who might want to do this, and I will see you guys in the next video.